Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're taking a close look at a major challenge facing Iraq's economy, the staggering amount of cash being hoarded outside of the formal banking system. We'll explore the historical reasons behind this phenomenon, the consequences for the nation's development, and a potential game-changing solution on the table at the introduction of a brand new currency. Let's get into it. In Iraq, there is a deep-rooted distrust of banks that continues to affect the country's economy in a significant way. For many Iraqis, keeping money at home, hidden away in safes, walls, or under mattresses, is seen as a safer and more reliable option than depositing it in a bank. This sentiment has persisted for decades and stems from years of instability, corruption, and past financial crises that led to the loss of trust in formal financial institutions. As a result, a large portion of the nation's wealth is not circulating through the formal economy where it could help stimulate growth, investment, and development. According to recent estimates, Iraq has a total money supply of about 105 trillion Iraqi dinars, IQD, but only around 20 trillion dinars are actively used in the market. This means that the remaining 85 trillion dinars, over 80% of the total money supply, are essentially being hoarded. They are not being deposited in banks, invested in businesses, or used to purchase goods and services. Instead, this massive amount of currency is sitting idle in homes and private holdings, disconnected from the economic system. This phenomenon severely restricts the availability of capital for banks to lend to businesses or for the government to use in public spending and infrastructure development. Without money circulating through the financial system, it becomes extremely difficult for any economy to grow or thrive. The problem is further complicated by the fact that many Iraqi dinars are held outside of the country, particularly in the United States and other foreign countries. These banknotes are often kept as speculative investments, in hopes that the value of the dinar will increase dramatically in the future. Some foreign holders believe that if Iraq's economy stabilizes or if the dinar is revalued, they will be able to profit. However, this creates another challenge for Iraq's central bank, which has little control over how or when these foreign-held banknotes might return to the country and enter the financial system. This combination of domestic hoarding and the presence of dinars abroad creates a complex set of issues for Iraq's central banking authority. Not only is a huge amount of the currency not available to support economic activity inside Iraq, but the central bank must also remain cautious about inflation and instability that could occur if large amounts of these hidden or foreign-held dinars suddenly re-entered the market. Managing the money supply becomes much more difficult when so much of it is outside the formal banking system and beyond regulatory oversight. One potential solution to this growing problem could be the introduction of a completely new currency. This would involve phasing out the current dinar and replacing it with a new form of currency issued by the Central Bank of Iraq. In this process, people would be given a limited window of time during which they could exchange their old banknotes for the new currency. After that period ends, the old banknotes would no longer be accepted or recognized as legal tender. This approach would force hoarders to either bring their money out into the open and exchange it, or risk losing it entirely. Such a strategy could help reset the system and eliminate many of the issues caused by excessive cash hoarding. It would encourage people to deposit their money in banks during the exchange window, especially if the government and financial institutions implement measures to ensure the process is secure, transparent, and fair. At the same time, the central bank could place limitations on how much currency can be exchanged without proper documentation or explanation, making it more difficult for individuals with illegally obtained or unexplained large amounts of cash to legitimize it. By introducing a new currency, the government could also effectively nullify the billions of dinars held outside of the country. Since people abroad would have to physically present their old banknotes within the exchange window to receive the new currency, those who are unable or unwilling to do so would simply lose their holdings. This would remove a major source of uncertainty and speculation surrounding the dinar, and it would give the Central Bank of Iraq more control over its currency and financial policies. Of course, implementing such a major reform would require careful planning and coordination. The government would need to ensure the availability of the new currency, prepare the banking system for the exchange, and conduct an extensive public information campaign to make sure citizens understand what is happening and how to participate. Security would also be a major concern, both to prevent counterfeiting and to ensure that large cash exchanges don't result in crime or unrest. Moreover, the success of such a reform would depend heavily on the public's willingness to cooperate. Iraqis would need to be reassured that this move is not another attempt to take their savings or undermine their financial stability. Building public trust would be essential, and that would likely require greater transparency, anti-corruption measures, and improved services from banks. If people continue to believe that banks are unsafe or unreliable, they may choose not to participate fully, and the benefits of the reform could be limited. In the long run, changing the currency could provide Iraq with a fresh start, helping to bring its vast hidden wealth into the formal economy and restoring the central bank's ability to manage monetary policy effectively. It would reduce the amount of untracked and untaxed cash in circulation and encourage more responsible financial behavior across the population. However, this is not a decision that should be taken lightly. It comes with significant risks and challenges, and it would need to be part of a broader economic reform plan aimed at rebuilding trust, improving financial infrastructure, and creating a stable environment for growth and investment. Ultimately, Iraq must be prepared for the possibility that such a currency overhaul could become necessary. As economic pressures mount and as more and more money continues to sit idle outside the banking system, the need for decisive action grows. Whether through a new currency or other strong measures, the goal must be to get that money moving again to put it to work in the service of Iraq's future. Ultimately, the issue of Iraq's hidden wealth highlights the critical importance of trust and stability in building a healthy financial system. While the idea of a new currency presents a radical approach, its success hinges on a broader effort to rebuild confidence and modernize the financial infrastructure. It's a complex situation with no easy answers, but one that will undoubtedly shape Iraq's economic future. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates and analyses.